In this video, I'm going to share with you how you can do a content audit to increase your organic traffic, leads, and ranking for your website in step-by-step process. In fact, recently I have used this exact content audit guide on one of my clients' website and results from just 50 monthly organic traffic to 700 monthly organic traffic, which is a 1,300% increase in organic traffic in just 3 months. This might not sound like a lot, but they are competing in a very small and highly competitive niche, and yet they are able to generate more and more traffic and high quality leads day by day. Hey, what's up marketers? I'm Eduard Dziak from b2bdigitalmarketers.com, the place where you can learn how to level up your digital marketing effectively without spending money on marketing agencies. And if you find this video valuable, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel, like this video, and leave a comment below to help me with the YouTube algorithm. And without further ado, let's get started. So first of all, what is a content audit? Content audit refers to a process of evaluating all content elements and information assets on your website. Content audit helps you to keep a healthy stock of content inventory on your website and gives you insights into which content to create, update, delete, consolidate, or leave it as it is. And if this sounds like a tedious process, then you are damn right. A content audit can take pretty long depending on the size of your website. For example, if you are having over 1,000 pages, then there will be a lot of pages that will need your attention. However, this has also its own benefits, as with content audit, you will find a lot of ideas to create new content and update old ones, which will fill up your content calendar. Anyway, let's move to the actual steps of doing content audit. Alright, the first step of audit for your website is to collect all your content, specifically the URLs you have on your website and the important data to make the right decision. And the important data I recommend you to collect and why you need to collect is the first data that you need to collect is all your web pages. This will create the list for your content audit. The second is organic traffic. This will show you if the page is driving above average organic traffic or not. The third is page views. This shows you the popularity of the web page. Not every page will have a high organic traffic, but can have a lot of page views. The next is page value. This shows you how well a page contributing to generating more leads or sales for your business. The next important metric is referring domains. Some pages are just not created for traffic, but for their link generating abilities. Another one is targeted keyword. This shows you the relevance to your business and whether you are targeting the keyword already or not. Another important metric is published and update date. This shows you whether the page or blog posts are getting outdated or not. And the last important metric that I recommend you is average ranking position. This shows you whether the page is decreasing the overall average ranking of your website or increasing. Don't worry, I will show you exactly how you can collect all these data using Google Analytics, Google Search Console, and some SEO tool such as SE Ranking. Also, I want to say that you don't need any content audit template, as you can create it on your own without breaking a sweat. However, I recommend using some kind of spreadsheet to stay organized. So, to get started and get all of your pages on your website, go to SE Ranking Website Audit and choose Crawl Pages Report, where you can find all of your indexed and not indexed pages. Here, you can also add extra filters to select only the pages you want to audit, such as blog posts or product pages, or add extra columns for more information. For example, I like to see the word counts of my web pages, but that's my personal preference. And from here, you can export all of your pages into spreadsheet and select the format that fits you the most. I choose the CSV, even though I'm using Microsoft Excel. And just like this, I'm starting my content audit template. Next, you can delete any unimportant data from the spreadsheet that you don't need, such as URLs protocol and internal and external outlinks. Also, Now you can add the extra columns to your spreadsheet with the data that you need to collect for each of your web pages, as I've mentioned above. And if you prefer, then create a table. Now let's discuss how to get the information for each of your columns. Organic traffic, page views and page value you can get from your Google Analytics. If you are using the G4 version, then go to Engagement, Pages and Screens and change the page title to Page Path and Screen class, and then add Organic filter by choosing Acquisition and User Medium. Referring domains you can find by going into SE Ranking Backlink Checker. Enter or choose your domain and go to Pages Report. And here you can find all of your pages and their backlinks and referring domains. The publish date you can find within your WordPress system of particular page or any other system you are using. And targeted keyword really depends on how you are optimizing your web pages. But if you are using WordPress and some of the SEO plugins such as Rank Math, then you can find it at the bottom or within your sidebar. And lastly is finding your average position of the web page, which you can find within SE ranking as well by going into Analytics and Traffic, Google Search Console data, and select pages. Also, the same information you can find within Google Search Console by going into Performance and Pages. So I'll leave it up to you which one you prefer. And there you have all the sources you need to find the information. Of course, you can always add more data that you want to collect, such as the number of keywords, the page's ranking, or other data that are important to you or your business to make the informed decisions. So, fill up your newly created content audit template with all the information so you can move to the next step. This might take you a while depending on the size of your website, so be patient. Once you have finished collecting all of your data for your web pages, the next step is to establish benchmarks to recognize high-performing and low-performing content. I'm sure that you already know the pages that drive you the most amount of organic traffic and have the highest number of backlinks. However, those are usually rare and make up a tiny percentage of your website. So, establishing benchmarks will help you to make the right decision for other less performing pages. You can easily create a spreadsheet next to your content audit template and fill up the information. As you can see here within the spreadsheet, there are 5 different columns that help you to establish the benchmarks. So let me explain what they are and what they mean. Minimum is the smallest number your pages get for a certain data. Maximum is the largest number your pages get for a certain data. A lower average is the average number of numbers that are lower than the average number. Example, if the average number is 50, then you take only the numbers below 50 and then create an average out of them. Average is the average number for a certain data, and higher average is the average number of numbers that are higher than the average number. Example again, if the number is 50, then you take all the numbers above that and then create an average out of them. Of course, if you are familiar with the spreadsheet, you can quickly create formulas that help you to calculate it within seconds. Otherwise, you have to do it manually. Alright, so you have set your benchmark data. Now it's time to assign an action to each of your web pages. And just a quick disclaimer, before you take any action on your web pages, I want you to know that the benchmarks you have just created for your website are more like a guidelines, and you should also use your common sense and gut feeling to ultimately decide what to do with your pages. I believe using the benchmarks, common sense and your gut feeling will ultimately bring you the best possible results. But first, let me remind you of the 4 types of action you can take on your website and a little bit explain them. The first one is 200 or leave it as it is. These pages are within the benchmark or even exceeded, thus no need to take any action. The second one is 301 or consolidate. These ones are the low performing pages or clashing pages with same or similar keyword that could be consolidated with other pages. The third action is 404 or delete. These pages are not relevant to your business or are outdated or low performing pages worth not having on your website, and thus it's better to delete them. And the last action you can take is 101 or update. These pages are relevant to your business, but outdated with decreasing data such as organic traffic and conversions that can be refreshed to increase the metrics again. To learn more about this, watch my video on the historical optimization of web pages and blog posts. So now, when you understand what action you can take, now is the time to set dedicated action to each of your web pages. You can create an extra column within the content audit template and set the action just like this. Also, I want to run through a few scenarios to just give you an idea of common situations you might end up in. So, I've completed and collected all the data, and I've created my benchmarks for the content audit that looks like this. So now I can start assessing my pages to set the appropriate action. And my first scenario is my first page has decent traffic with a decent amount of page views. It is also relevant to my business and it is getting more links. However, I can see the traffic is slowing down and I can see that the potential traffic could be much higher. Also, I have room to improve my ranking, thus I give it 101 or update. The second scenario. My second page has very low traffic and page views, and from the topic I can see it is relevant to my business. But the page is getting very outdated with minimum search traffic and there is no much room to improve it. However, because it got a lot of links and I don't want to lose them, I will set the action to 301 consolidate with a similar page since Google does not reduce the link juice via 301 redirects and I can create a more comprehensive page that could drive more traffic. This is scenario number 3. My page has nothing to do with my business, but I'm ranking quite high for the targeted keyword and my traffic is decent, and what's the most important, it has a high page value compared with others. However, when I check my CRM, I see that the leads do not convert and being mainly disqualified. So based on this, I rather 404 or delete this page as this traffic has no value to my business. And my last scenario is a page that has a great traffic, contributes to bringing more leads to my business and generates quite a lot of backlinks and has a great ranking. Although the page is getting older, over 10 months, the topic is more like evergreen. So at the moment, I don't see the need to do anything with the page. So I set the action 200 and leave it as it is. So these are the potential scenarios that can happen to you. But of course, there will be more situations where making the decision will be much harder. That's why I said, you need to use the benchmarks, common sense and your gut feelings to make the right decision. Also, feel free to drop a question here in the comment section. And the last step, once you have completed the spreadsheet and set the action for all of your pages, is to update your content calendar. Nobody expects you to update and change everything in one go, and it will take time. So to ensure you are still productive, keep posting new content and still do the update on your website based on the content audit, you have to set it in your plan. So what we do after we set the action for all of our web pages is we update our content marketing calendar. First, we schedule to remove all the pages with 404 action within the first few days. It doesn't take long even if you have a lot of pages to delete, and it improves your organic traffic and the ranking almost immediately. Second, we schedule all the pages that we want to consolidate or redirect within the next few weeks. This doesn't take as much time either, and if you are having interns, that's the perfect job for them. And lastly, we schedule those pages that need to be updated and rewritten. This takes more time compared with the previous 2 steps. And if you want to learn more about updating all content, then here is a full video on how to update your old pages and blog posts. Trust me, it is easier to update your old pages and blog posts than create new ones. So typically we set these pages in the plan during the busiest times. Especially if we are organizing conferences and seminars and our content team is very busy. Like this, we can ensure we can still consistently publish new content on our website even in the busiest times. However, this is just our way how we assign a certain action, and it is more like a rule of thumb for us. So it depends on you if you do it alone or with your team and the projects you already scheduled. And that's all from me. Thank you for watching. I hope you have learned something new, so don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, like this video, and ask me any question about the content audit. By the way, check out all my links in the description for my favorite SEO tools and other that help me to drive great results. Ciao!